built a lead generation system that is responsible for booking me and my clients over 200 sales meetings every single month with just a few hours of my time per week. It's also helping me sign 3 new clients every single month for my own business. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down our lead generation system into 4 simple steps so that you never run out of leads again. And if you're already booking sales meetings consistently, then I'm going to show you how you can increase that number. But before I break down our lead generation system, there are really 4 ways that you can generate leads for your business. You have paid outreach, you have organic outreach, you have referrals, and then you have direct outreach. Now breaking these down one by one, starting with paid outreach, everybody has heard of paid ads. It's essentially you paying to have your content posted across different social media platforms. That could be LinkedIn, it could be YouTube, it could be Google, Facebook. Paid ads are honestly one of the best ways that you could scale your business, and we're running them for our own business, but there's a couple of flaws with them, and most importantly is that they're very, very, very expensive, and even more so, more unpredictable. Like, you can run your paid ads and then you might find that you've spent tens of thousands of dollars, and after a couple of months, you just found that 99.9% of the leads that you're getting are what I like to refer to as cockroaches or tire kickers, people that you really don't want to be working with. And that's the problem, is that they're unpredictable. You'll get a ton of volume, but you end up finding that your calendar is getting booked with people that you never wanted to work with to begin with. Now we move on to organic outreach, and organic outreach is another great method. It's essentially what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to build an audience online, and you do this by posting content across different social media platforms, and you're trying to build trust from your ideal clients. You're trying to show and give value, but the problem with organic outreach is that it takes years. I've been running my business for 2.5 years now, and we're getting inbound leads, and some of those are the best leads. But again, it just takes a whole lot of time, effort, and it's not something that you can just expect to generate results from right away. Next, we have referrals. And everybody in the world knows that referrals are the absolute best form of generating leads, and they always close at the highest rate. The problem with referrals, though, is that they are not predictable. You cannot just spend time waiting for your next referral or try scaling your business predictably, just relying on your customers to refer you to other customers, because there's going to be one day where you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs and you're like, where is my next customer going to come from? And odds are, your clients are only going to refer you so many times unless you start paying them a referral or a commission fee or affiliate fee. Once again, referrals are great. They close at a high rate. They're just not predictable, and you cannot make that your sole way of, generating leads for your business. Then lastly, you have direct outreach. Everybody knows what direct outreach is. It's outbound marketing, and you can do this in the form of cold calls. You can do it in the form of cold emails, or you can do it in the form of cold DMs. And really, it's all in your control. It's a numbers game. The more people that I reach out to, the more opportunities that I'm going to get, and the more sales I'm going to actually make. Now, looking at cold calls are very effective. The problem with cold calls is that it demands a lot of time and a lot of labor. In order to physically talk to hundreds, if not thousands of people on the phone every single day, you need a lot of bodies to actually make those calls and make those dials. Looking at myself and here in BuzzLead, if I make 150 dials on any given day, I may book 2, 3. If I'm lucky and having a phenomenal day, I might book 4 sales meetings. But the problem is it burns me out. It takes forever. You end up getting drained by all the people that are, hanging up on you. And it's just not a very scalable method unless you are working with sales reps on a, commission only plan, or you're just, spending a lot of money for a bunch of BDRs, which in fact, historically, looking at data, are underperforming and not hitting their quota more than 50% of the time. Now, with cold DMs can be very effective, but people get annoyed on social media platforms. I avoid going on LinkedIn because of how many different DMs that I get from different people that are just super annoying. And the other problem with cold DMing people on different platforms is that you're limited on the amount of, messages that you can send on any given day. If you're on LinkedIn specifically, you could only send, I believe, 40 messages on any given day. If you're on Twitter, I think the limit is 500 DMs that you could send, and there's limitations across all these different social media platforms. Lastly, you have cold email, and our lead generation system relies 100% on cold emails simply because it is the most effective way to generate leads for your business, and it's the most affordable, the most targeted, and I'm gonna walk you through our lead generation system here and show you why I believe that cold email is the way that you could change the direction of your business, and you can do it predictably. So the diagram that we're looking at right here is essentially just a high level of the cold email infrastructure. And what you're gonna have is your domains, you're gonna have your inboxes, you're gonna have your lead list, you're gonna have your cold email scripts, and then you're gonna have the email sending software that you physically deliver the messages on. Now, breaking these down a little bit further, essentially with domains, you do not want to be cold emailing people from your main domain. So my main domain is buzzly.io. That's our website. And then I have my email account from my main domain, which is nick@buzzly.io. I do not want to be cold emailing people from nick@buzzly.io, because people eventually will mark you as spam, and the more people that mark you as spam, the lower your domain reputation gets. Your site starts to not load, and you just don't want to do that, because then when you're trying to email people for legitimate business reasons, your emails are going to land in spam. So for that reason, you set up subdomains. So instead of sending cold emails from buzzly.io, I'm sending emails from getbuzzly.com, trybuzzly.com, gobuzzly.com. And then underneath of those domains, you have your inboxes. And this diagram here, which I'm going to break down in a second, will show you what I mean exactly. But for every domain, you could set up 2 email accounts. So for getbuzzly.com, I could have a nick@getbuzzly.com, and then I could have a troy@getbuzzly.com for my business partner. And essentially for every, domain that you have, you could set up those 2 email accounts. And with each email account, you could send up to 25 emails per day safely without landing in spam, assuming that you set up your infrastructure, the right way. So when we're looking at this diagram here, you're going to set up your subdomains, and you're going to need to host those under an admin panel. So let's pretend that you want to create a Google Workspace account. You could have all of your subdomains under that, and then all of your inboxes that are tied to each of those subdomains under this. So right here, I could see that I have 1 Google Workspace account, I have 10 subdomains, and I have 20 different email accounts consisting of Nick, Troy at whatever buzzly.com. And then below that, once you have your infrastructure set up, then it's really just going to consist of a lead list. And the beauty about lead lists is that you are creating the lead list yourself, and you're determining who exactly do I want to reach out to, and you're hand picking them. So let's say I'm selling lead generation services and I want to go after educational technology companies. I could legitimately build a lead list of all of the companies in the educational technology space, consisting of the job titles that I know are going to respond best to my lead generation offer. And you can reach out to them and then use this next mechanism, which is going to be the scripts, to basically handcraft your offer, personalize it, and deliver it in a way that you could test out. Like, one of the other things that is just mind-blowing that people don't realize with cold email is that it gives you instant validation and gratification, and it will tell you, literally the market will tell you whether or not your offer is good or it's not. People are either going to respond or they're not. And with cold email, it's really just all in your court, where you could essentially try out different angles, you could position your solution in different ways, and your message in different ways. And to take that a step further, one of the coolest things is that AI and technology is giving us the ability to literally do things that people couldn't even imagine with cold email, where you could essentially personalize your scripts and your messages, and you can tailor them to each and every single one of those prospects on an individual basis while doing it at scale. So let's say I want to reach out to 10,000 people within my ideal client profile. I could literally customize my message so that each one of them thinks that I am speaking directly to them. And you can do that with platforms like clay.com, for example. Or if I'm building out a lead list and I want to make sure the people that I'm going after are going to be very similar to my favorite customer that I have, you could plug that into a tool like ocean.io, and Ocean will use AI to scrape the internet and say, oh, I found 10,000 other identical mirror image lookalikes of your best customer. So that way your message comes off that much more relevant. So once you have all these pieces together, you've got your Google Workspace account or whatever your admin panel is, you have your domains, you have your inboxes, you have your lead list, you have your scripts written. Now it's just a matter of plugging all those into an email sending platform and simply pressing play. And to just dive into that super quick, because it really excites me and a lot of people don't know about this, but you essentially have a platform right here. You could plug in your email accounts. So here we could say I have 1,200 plus email accounts. You could create your email campaigns, upload my lead list, go over here, start writing my script. This is script A. Maybe I want to test out, this is script B. maybe I want to send another message to these people 3 days later. This is test A version B, whatever. So essentially you could create your campaign, you import your leads right here, you figure out when do I want to send these messages, I'll click save, figure out how many email accounts do I want to tie to it. I want to figure out what times am I going to start sending this, how many new leads am I going to contact on every given day. And then when it's all said and done, you press launch and you don't have to do anything except for respond to the people that are showing interest in your services. So now obviously what I just showed you was a very general breakdown of the pieces that our system relies on. But next you want to make sure that your emails are not landing in spam, because the worst thing you want to do is, spend all this time and effort setting all this up just to find out that your emails are landing in people's junk folders. So I actually just created a video that covers cold email deliverability. And if you want to watch that and you enjoyed this video, then make sure to stick around and you can check out this video right here.